Only
can't
game
really blame
one
them.
in this best of three. Whoever wins this series is going to be getting that last slot to TI. So let's jump on in. It's Dan Aries.
Or whether you're a player,
Aries has
streamer,
arrived.
Twitch viewer, or an average Herald gamer,
King
every single person
God
is at the edge of the seat to find
of
out if
war
Liquid
and
Pro will
courage.
take the final slot at TI 11. One team's hopes will be crushed and the other team will be on cloud 9.
Oh,
Deno,
no.
we heard
Losing
the panel what
here
they had
would
to
feel
say
so
about
despair,
game
man.
one, but the Oracle himself, what do you think about this game?
I think VP got this one. I think they might have gotten a little bit too much baited into going to try and counter out that Primal Beast with the Life Stealer, with all of these sorts of things. And I think they've got the burst to be able to deal with him. And I just got to say, how fitting is it? We play out this entire DPC season to get the top 12 teams to automatically qualify for TI. Both of these guys didn't have too much luck during the regional qualifiers, but 13th and 14th placed on DPC points. VP and Liquid play off in one last series for one last spot at TI.
Picking
I'm so
Racer against
hyped. I
Life
can't
Stealer.
wait. We would get into it, but there's a pause.
So, we get to brew in the moment a little bit. We get to see the players, giving the good lucks out, the good luck hombre. We see a little bit of issues with some hotkeys as well. It's okay. It's fine. It's just setting us up for a beautiful game one. Of course, this is the rematch as well, isn't it, Daniel? This is the rematch between these two teams. We saw Liquid. They were knocked down to the lower bracket previously. Virtus Pro were able to beat them.
Sorry, I got to cut you off. Look at this all chat, man. That's what we got to be talking about. How's your day? Oh, it's not going too bad. He's like, well, ask me in 3 hours, and then GPK says, well, it's maybe going to be 2 hours.
DX.
Let's see if it's going to be a 2-0 or not. But
What is
I really
DX?
like the way that VP drafted this time around. Where we've seen Liquid look super strong is when they're able to push and be aggressive early on. Just between these two teams in particular, VP, when they win their games, they win it 11.5 minutes slower than Liquid does. Liquid are trying to close it out in the 30 to 35 minute mark. VP, they're happy with 40 to 45. So the fact that they got rid of these heroes like the Shadow Fiend, the Enigma, lots of these very fast pushing ones, Lone Druid was dissuaded away from as well. I think VP are going to be very happy with this, and like as you mentioned, with that Razor pick, there's nowhere else a Lifestealer can go. So
Need a good side game. I need side against Razor badly.
Yeah, VP are without a doubt happy with the late game, but we have seen some issues with them being able to actually close out games, and I think the most recent one would be that
The Liquid
game one
wins
against
in long
Secret
fights
early today.
easily
We've
in this
seen
game.
some, other games in
And
particular,
they have the tools for it.
difficulties with them throwing some leads. So you're exactly right. Liquid on it always like to look to end early, but VP, it's still a big question at the moment. Would they be in this position if some of those leads had gone?
It looks pretty good for Liquid. I think they're going to win this
Yeah,
easily.
for sure. They're still going to put GPK on the Primal Beast. Like I was saying before, it feels like it has been semi-countered by some of their heroes, right? Early on, you're going to have the Glimpse, you're going to have the Life Stealer, which still does a decent amount of that percentage damage against him. You just get so farmed that it's very effective. GPK trying to put the cheats in just for a little bit of extra gold in the alt chat there. Not going to work out. The other interesting thing is that this is only the second Skywrath Mage pick of the entire tournament. The other team that did it was Infamous against Extreme Gaming. They lost, unfortunately. So to bring out in this last series of the Last Chance qualifiers a hero with 0% win rate, it's a ballsy one, but we'll see if it ends up working out. They're actually going to put the two ranged up top here as well, DM and Hakoda. And maybe just looking to really emphasize that Ramses has a solid start to this game on the Razor with the toss back on Yamich and be able to secure some of that early gold. So
4
that the
Swedes,
isn't
guys.
as much of a threat
Sweden is probably the best country in the world.
Once the lanes start to dissolve,
And with such a small population, we have like some of the best players in the world in pretty much every game, which is very
Do we
impressive.
feel like there's either side that, with how the lanes are set up at the moment, are going to be a little bit more favorable to come out on top
let's
with a slight
fucking go.
advantage here?
It just depends on how this first blood goes in my eyes.
should be a good lane.
You're going to have a lot of damage being spammed
Cogs
out
to
onto this
remove
top side of
the
the map.
Razor. Yeah, this should be
Disruptor,
fine.
not really one of those heroes that likes to go into something like the headdress, so you might be able to spam him out, but Insania, he's got
Generally,
two
you want
sets of
Razor
tango
against a
spear to
melee.
start with, so he just realizes that he needs to constantly be putting pressure on,
last
preventing
picking
DM
Razor
and Dakota from putting a lot of pressure
to
onto Matala,
Life
man,
Stealer, we're
because,
not even laning
like I
against
was
him,
saying
feels
before,
kinda
Ramses
bad.
needs a good start. If Matu could stay a little bit ahead of the Razor, maybe the tempo is just going to be a bit too much.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
always
hell no,
concerns
the
with
range
Life Stealer
creeps.
if you do get shoved out into the
Show
jungle.
middle.
It's a hero that is very self-sufficient, unable to catch up too easily. We see pretty much every lane at the moment.
That's a lot of damage. Oh my god, the blocks. Maybe Venus should have admitted there.
Victory here, trying to get the resources.
I mean, look at this lane. If Razor gets a bad lane...
Big thing that I'm looking at is this level 2 at bottom. Yeah, Boxy's doing a really good job, but he's not going to have that freedom to consistently walk on forward, especially with the wave sitting underneath the tower. If he does this, what's Yamich is level 2, maybe you get that toss back and you're able to get that early kill.
Oh, might go now. Yeah, just hit level 2, but they were just off the mark.
Not quite yet level 2 just yet. There's a creep that's about to die, and it was actually the range creep, so they might have been able to secure that one if they just waited that little bit longer.
Yeah, Rams is going to die in this lane soon.
When
they hit level 3.
A couple of first bloods being missed out on.
Boxy does giga damage. Vino does giga damage. As long as GPK doesn't go ham this game, we should be fine.
Mid lane, rather. Mickey going up against GPK. Yeah, Pango, probably one of the better heroes to be able to lane against the Primal Beast. You've got plenty of abilities that allow you to soak up some damage. Once he levels up the Swashbuckle a little bit more, he's going to be able to be not so worried about the trample effect.
Double range, kind of dance game.
Create that little bit of a gap. For me, for BP, they're just playing around these BKB timings, right? Then you suddenly don't really care about the kinetic field or the glimpse or the Pango roll. It's really just going to be quite heavily on the back of Boxy. To be able to just use something like the cogs, like the hook shot, that don't care about the BKB to allow his team to be able to create that little bit of a gap and kite out those BKBs.
Guys, I don't want to sound rude, but can you please stop spamming?
So far,
just
looks
trying
like
to be
the
a
lane's
kick
going
pipe
pretty well
stream.
from either side. Visage struggling at the moment on DM. This is a hero that can have some difficulties. I mean, level 1, very, very strong, but with the other levels in the lane, you can feel a little bit awkward here. So 9 last hits for DM. And Senya's done a very good job to continue to have the creep clear from
Oh, look at this. Look at this. Up
there
top, GPK. He's already making the move. This is what we saw Thompson do.
Oh, they already know.
Series.
They know.
Yeah, and they scan out the movement entirely. He pushed the wave under the tower. They're going to look to position themselves really defensively.
Look at the aggressive glyph. But Tumberman's in trouble. A glyph.
Oh, they even knew it was coming, man. What the fuck?
GPK, nice attempt. It was a glimpse to try and send him away. But the
They
aggressive
knew it was
one
coming.
from Virtus Pro, a great maneuver, even though
Even send him back so he gets back to mid faster.
Yeah, they did almost everything right there on Liquid. Maybe just not able to
No
pop
big
that
deal,
rage
no
quite
big deal.
quickly enough. Didn't see if it was on cooldown or not, but yeah, that's a big win coming through from VP, especially giving it over to DM, like you were mentioning.
Because now they trade and kill him.
Greatest net worth in the laning
down
phase.
actually top. Yeah, but Tumberman and Senya hit back instantly.
Acceptable.
Yakota will get a trade.
Pango should be doing a little struggling middle, I think. I think Beast wins. So him rotating is actually good for...
You still get the experience. You're still up to
him.
level 3
It's
now
good.
on
Everything is
DM.
good.
And of course, he's the one that's going to start to put a bit more pressure on. This
And
is
Racer
probably
gonna die
a
any
much
second
faster
now.
draft than that VP
It looks like Racer got a lot of CS, but
just
it's
because they
no
don't
big
have
deal.
to contend with defending against Liquids. They can play the game much more on their tempo, I feel.
Do we feel like a lot of the tempo is going to come out from GPK and then like early on until we get some of the timings out of DM?
Yeah, absolutely.
And this healing
They
region
also
creep
mentioned
actually
T-Panda
counters Vino
during
in
the
lane.
panel that VP, they're a very stack-heavy lineup, and well, the Razor, one of the better heroes at being able to take those. You know, you stack up the jungle, even the Radiant one, you can take multiple stacks at the same time, accelerate your net worth, and look to pick up that early-ish BKB, because, yeah, like you were saying before, GPK, he's the one that's going to be rotating towards the Visage's lane, open up the map by taking some of those towers.
Okay, take the farm with it, fuck it.
I think it's going to come down to Liquid and how they can start to set up some of their
Oh yeah,
wards to
look
be
at the
able to scout out
damage.
GPK.
Eat it! Eat
We've seen
it!
him try and make one move across the map, and closing on that level 6 is going to further enable that. They don't have the
You
greatest
notice that
wards
if you
at the
post a
moment.
comment in chat and that is a
We'll
few
need to consider
sentences
shortly as
long,
well,
it will get
and
copied
even Virtus
and
Pro as
pasted by
well,
other
considering
users.
GPK has a bottle, so I think this next power
You
room,
try it.
the first one of the game,
Someone
is
type
gonna
something
be
long.
a really big moment here in game 1.
Yeah, Liquid have already got some of the
Oh,
wards set
man, he
up
missed
for
two
it.
range
The one
creeps.
placed
I
down
heard
by
a little
Boxy
bit.
in the bottom lane, securing that one a little bit. Again, it really doesn't matter where DM makes the where GPK makes the rotation to. Top side now, you might
They're going on Ramses.
Okay.
Okay,
Again,
nice.
Fox is gonna
Good
try and
one.
Step in. They do a pretty decent job to break the static.
Good harass.
Not a whole lot of damage.
Can they actually kill him?
It's like they're still
Yeah,
trying to enter though. Yamich
oh,
gets the
so close.
avalanche.
Rocket.
Case Box is going to push Ramses away.
Another
Meanwhile,
kill.
top lane though, DM brings down Matumba man. Insania is able to keep back, but not getting the core trade onto Visage is really going to continue to hurt the game with the Lifestealer.
Oh, and look at this. They're talking about those power runes. He's level 6 on GPK, making the rotation
Oh,
up with his ultimate.
Oh, Psycho stealing. There's the plasma into the tree throw
Oh, you
from
got him.
damage.
They're doing
Oh,
everything.
no.
Trace to the tree line. Avalanche going to be able to cover the retreat.
Yeah, but look at the
Beautifully done
region.
From Yarmich's
They can't
range.
lane now. It's
Can
not even
step out of
bad.
danger.
They spotted out GPK's movement with this sentry ward, just preventing the small camp from being blocked. So Matu's not going to chain feed up here. It was very important that just a simple ward could have potentially changed the outcome of this game. The siege
Yeah, go
creep is
kill
up
yourself.
on the top side. DM's about to hit onto level 6. So GPK, he wants to stay up top, but Mike, wisely enough, he's keeping that mid lane shoved in as much as
Minus
possible.
100 gold as well.
Little bit of information now for Virtus Pro to play
damn,
with. Boxy
boy.
tried to TP to the tier 2 tower to try and get the gold.
What are we getting,
I
Mick?
should say mainly the
Bash is
experience
gonna be
from
so good
Yarmich
this
denying,
game.
So the fact that Clockwork will not be able to
Racer
rotate
and
now
probably
might enable GPK
like some
once
mobility.
again to think about making a play top.
The question is, what can Mickey do in the meantime? He's actually going to be the one to make the first move. He's got level 7, Rolling Thunder being
Hola,
popped. They want to
amigo.
take out DM.
They'll be able to do just that. Mickey can bounce back off the tree. Insania will be able to
Okay.
keep his own life. Not enough damage coming out from
So
the
as long as
Soul
he gets
Assumption, so
60,
beautifully
he's going to be
done.
completely safe in the
A
lane.
big kill for them to be able to find top lane. Gives
Which
a
he's going
bit
to hit
of
very
a-
soon.
well,
And look at
a
his
full
net worth. He
wave
died
from
twice,
top
but
of the map.
look.
It does.
Look
but
at
it
the
gives
net worth.
GPK a way to be able to shove
Meanwhile,
the lane
Racer's
mid
been
as
killing.
well, so he does that.
And
That
look at
makes
his
the
net
Black
worth.
Bearer creep as well, just going down. So losing out a little bit
Maybe
on that
kills
net
don't
worth,
matter as much as
essentially
you
doing
think.
What Mickey just did to him with pushing the wave in.
Me, as a
Radiant tier
mathematician,
1 mid, already sitting at
am
half
aware of this.
HP. So it's so close. Tiny little changes like that sentry ward. If it wasn't up top to scout out GPK's movement, sure, Mickey would have been able to get the same amount done in the mid lane, but Matu probably would have died. Would have had to make that walk of shame back, maybe even go back into the jungle, which, as we've been saying, lifestealers really don't
From
want to do.
Tango, we got it. We got it. Oh, a regen. Oh, hell yeah.
His way, gets a regen, nothing too crazy.
Hell yeah.
Help with the farm. A little bit lucky considering GPK had the ultimate advantage. So there was no battle going on though. You
Matu,
see though these observer wards.
he's getting run out a little bit. You've got the familiars available. Coda.
The Ancient Seal, yeah, might catch him off guard. Matu's in trouble. Familiar Sunja the second. The damage is not enough. A really nice attempt from Virtus Pro. The Ancient Seal is always going to prove to be an issue here for the Lifesteal as the game continues on. His bottom lane.
Good
Ramsey's
damage.
inside the cogs at the
Is he
moment,
dead?
Zai
Commit
making
on
sure
it.
he plays his distance, not trying to give it an easy static link target. Ramsey's now forced to try and move over to the Clockwork. A beautiful toss under the tower. Box is in trouble. They'll be able to
surely he's
secure the
dead.
kill.
Hit him.
Zai, first ultimate of the game, should
Please
bring
die.
down
Oh, no.
Ramsey's a
Use
tick
Fairy
at
Fire.
base.
Minus 75
I
gold.
don't think
bought
he's
a
going to
Fairy
take it
Fire.
out. Ramsey's popped the Fairy Fire. He's got the range.
So
on
again,
as
there
well.
you're thinking like, oh,
Meanwhile,
Clock
top lane
died, that's
action
bad,
continues
and
as
he could
Mickey.
survive. But it
Another
cost.
rotation
What was the
with Rolling
cost
Thunder.
of that
Get the
TP?
kill onto Yakoda.
One Fairy Fire,
Just a little
75.
bit short on
One
mana
TP,
on
100.
GPK. You could tell he
Have to
wants
stay
up
in
the
base for
tempo. He
extra
wants
long
to
because you've
create
been
a
ulted.
lot of pressure for
An
this
extra 10
Lifestealer.
seconds. Have to walk all the way
Some of
back.
these movements really haven't been working out, and Liquid are taking advantage of it.
Was it not worth it?
Previously,
Me?
there were
I would say it
multiple
is.
lanes going in
Good
Virtus Pro's
trade for
favor,
Liquid.
not so much anymore.
And Matu's second in net worth, considering his 2 early deaths that we saw in the lane, so have to be very happy with Liquid. Insania's very close to level 6 as well, so this could give him a free pick off across the map.
Had a mid lane to farm us. A little sad.
And Matu, he hasn't fully retreated back into, the depths of the jungle. He's looking to make sure that he's thereabouts. If he wants to be able to connect through onto that T1
Oh,
tower,
come
defend it
on.
like he had
Insania,
previously.
come on.
And that really does slow down a lot of where Virtus Pro were able to get that farm, because you have to remember they've got a tiny that they're playing with. Yamich, he just
Okay,
makes a
they
stack
killed him
inside
anyway,
the Radiant
but still,
jungle,
come
and
on.
he wants to make sure that he can sit in
Oh,
a
he's getting
lane
all the
that's,
runes. Some good
perhaps a
RNG.
little bit greedier, but enabled because Virtus Pro's cores
Okay,
might be
so
able to
Venus
farm
taking
that
over the
couple
lane.
of
A
extra
farm
jungle
Vino
camps
is
that
very
happen
scary.
as soon as you
A
take down
level
one of these
Vino is
towers.
very
That
scary.
blink dagger timing, incredibly important for a support
Ramses might be in trouble here with the jungle. They got 3 points of the glimpse. They're not going to get a whole lot of distance, but with all the heroes from Liquid nearby, and they
Why is
see
the
Virtus
cast
Pro still
command
playing up top,
entitled
so
prohibited?
nice pick up for
I
them to
currently
find,
banned
but,
cast
these
series.
Virtus Pro
Not
will get
every
their
3
first T1
seconds
tower
on
of the
ask.
game.
Yeah, and they did that
You're gonna
while
cast
they were
someone?
taking that
You're
tower.
gonna
They know
co-cast?
that Virtus
Cast?
Pro's main
Co-
objective
so
is
I just
taking
banned
that,
it.
so they're not going to be in a
Solve the
position
problem.
to TP back, to be played defensively around Ramses. He was farming in a pretty safe spot. but
One, I don't
Liquid
cast,
just
we observe
reading the
here
minds
and
of
make
Virtus
fun of
Pro
players.
right
We
now.
don't cast.
We do kind of see how easy it is at the moment for Virtus Pro to be able to take these objectives. They have this advantage in regards to the familiar. Do we feel like Liquid might have
they're
that
committing.
mid lane? GPK.
Yoo-hoo, can he dodge?
Not going to get too much distance away. Mickey will actually do a U-turn back to Yarmich. Box is going to look about stepping in as well. This is a very deep attempt now that they haven't been able to capitalize on the early use of that Rolling Thunder, but it is space created. Zai free farming down bot, starting to put some pressure into the tower. 3 points in the Plague Ward, so he's got firm control of bottom. It's going to be very difficult for Virtus Pro to be able to recapture this side of the map.
Looking good so far.
To their credit, though, they don't really need to. Like I was saying before, that tower going down top really does open up a few more areas of the map. You can see that Liquid, they've essentially sealed off all entrances into the Radiant jungle. So the bottom half of the map is all Liquids right now. Zai's just going to sit there. He's going to farm a little bit more until he picks up that Wraith Pact. You've almost got the Diffusal Blade on the Pangolier as well. Even the Armlet on Matumba Man is going to come at a pretty similar timing. So in about 3 minutes or so, when it hits into that nighttime, expect Liquid to make their first move.
Yeah, and already Virtus Pro, this is their first move, but the level 6 is a big pick-off if they can find it. But Yarmich is a little bit too far away. A lot of burst potential between the duo supports from Virtus Pro. They're going to be able to block off Insania. The backs up on the high ground, puts the disruptor in an awkward position. So at least Virtus Pro will find one kill.
Bottom.
They will, but it's not the one that they were wanting. They want to continue to pressure up Matu. He's been able to still, even being 5th or so on the net worth, he's a little bit ahead of Ramses.
Already a Wraith Pact almost. Pretty legit.
All right, well, DM, he's continuing to push up on this top side. They want to make sure that they can
unbiased.
Liquid
Well, would
to
this
make
be
a
a
lot of movements
non-biased
up towards
stream?
this top side of the map if they need to. Doesn't seem like they're going to take
There's
the
4
bait, though.
sweets in Liquid.
Matu makes the TP.
And I want to
He
tweet
still wants to be the one sitting
JPK
around here,
and
and
flame him.
Yamich, he's using this time to be able to be a little bit greedy. And take
Missing
some
the
of that
towers,
safe,
really, man?
relatively safe farm that they've got, because this doesn't feel kind of like what's happening on the bottom side with Zai, with the Plague Wards. Liquid really don't want to be.
If you're a big fan of
venturing too far into
Forsen,
their jungle.
type
The kill
Forsen.
threat, Virtus Pro
You
is
can
way
see
too high.
how many Forsen buys there are
See what
here.
Liquid can do. Smokers 3. Yamich has got some great positioning. Smoke's gonna pop and they'll see the Tiny. Not the hero they want to bring down to start. And in fact, Virtus Pro want to take the team fight.
Yeah, they want the big,
They're gonna
big
toss
boys.
Boxy into the middle, taking a lot of damage at the moment for the Clockwork. They
Look
haven't
too
secured
good
the
right
kill
here.
just yet, but the Soul Assumption finally enough to bring him down. In the end, a 1-for-1, but Liquid do commit multiple
okay.
ultimates.
Nice.
But in the end, Mickey will still be able to catch up as well with a maxed out shield crash, enough burst to be able to bring down the duo support from Virtus Pro. And again, look at what's happening
nice.
across
He
the
can't
map.
die.
All that thought is top lane, Matu. Rage
just
back up in a
walks
couple
away.
of seconds. The rest of the team is starting to connect.
They're coming. Action's
The
coming.
ultimates
Yeah,
were
the
used
damage,
by
though.
Virtus Pro. They should be
They have
okay.
glimpse. Glimpse.
Looks like they'll be able to back off.
Glimpse.
Yeah, even without that ultimate, Insania, still a few seconds left on the glimpse.
Oh, I don't
They're
even
gonna
have it.
potentially look to keep chasing, but you got to be
Okay, you gotta
careful
be
about going into
cautious.
these choke points.
We already got the fusion on
Refusal
Pango.
available,
He's so
but
fucking
this
strong
by
right now.
Zai,
Holy
he
shit,
moved
he's
away
farmed.
from the bottom lane, went into mid, took the tower. Now suddenly the map is a little bit more open for Liquid to play with.
That's another power rune secured as well for Mickey. Feels like he's gotten every single power rune, and they're going to
Oh
look to
my
use it
lord.
instantly onto Hikoda. And one big advantage that Radiant are playing with at the moment as a whole, again, look at Liquid, they're not done. Yamich looks to enter the lane. He's
Alright, this
trying to
game
get
is
a
over.
little bit of
He
farm
just
to
gave
work
up
towards the
Yamich.
Blink Dagger. They see
Fat
Ramses as
kiss
well.
for you.
Zai, if required, might have to drop the ultimate, but Mickey, he's got his own Rolling Thunder to be able to catch back up. Near the high ground to bounce back and forth. It's not even required for the second stun. It's Liquid. Go
Nice.
from one kill to the next. They're building up quite
Oh
the lead
yes.
here.
This is why you
are
generally don't want to
indeed.
leave your lane
DM still
at level
doing his
minute
best to
4.
continue the pressure up top, wanting to make sure that he's got eyes on the minimap
That's
at all
Pango
times.
Beast, because now
preventing
you get a
any of
very
these gank
big,
attempts to
scary
connect, but
Pango.
Look at this, Insania, Boxy, the support duo. They saw, I don't think they saw the courier path, but they're going to see it on the way back. They'll be able to connect through onto DM. They realize he is the one creating the only tempo this game. Any TPs coming up, nice scan. Being able to catch out perhaps anyone else that's sticking by.
Oh, no. Alright, I'll get the static storm down at least. A little bit awkward with a hook shot. But there's no way for DM to make it out, so he'll still end up going
Okay,
down
kill.
nonetheless.
Kill his babies.
Even with a little bit of miscommunication.
Plus 100. Nice.
Little
Things
bit
are
of extra
going
gold
very
for Insania as
cleanly
well.
right
We've seen
now.
how important those disruptors, if they could get into their Aghanim Scepter.
You're watching a
can be.
movie.
So he's been involved in a fair few kills so far, able to secure that
And we can watch
familiar.
it after this game. We can watch some
Decent
highlights.
so far
Part
for
8
them.
is
course,
pretty
very important
okay.
for him to get into the 4-star for this game, though, just to be
It's
able
the part
to get
where
that extra
Jason
distance
cheats
away
and he
from
teleports.
the Razor, the Mystic Flare, the Primal Beast. Movement
Another
is
power
key
room.
for Liquid.
Holy.
They're trying to bait out Ramses.
And he
Look at
also
the
is
support
mighty
duo on
racist in
VP
that
this
one.
time. They're like, well, you could make a play on one of our cores. We could try and do the same, but Liquid, they don't take it. They realize that, you know, they've been a few too many heroes off the map for too long, so they're just going to sit back, relax, let us play our timing. We've got the Diffusal Blade. Now we can make
They've
our
got
move.
the Infest Bomb. They see Ramses. Ancient
Nice
Steel's going to
silence.
buy him some time. The Tumperman's
Yeah, he can
going to
just
continue
TP
to
out.
move
Oh,
on forward.
the
They've got
glimpse.
the vision for the glimpse to cancel the TP. And now Ramses, oh, he's going to be caught out. No escape for the Razor. The prize target
Choo-choo.
once again for Liquid. As they're going to continue to slow down the game.
He's shaking. You see his hands when he dies. He's actually
Immediately the
shaking.
lines drawn on the map
He's
as
getting
well.
nervous.
So,
He's
look,
becoming
amount of time,
aware.
but they committed a lot to be able to make that happen. Rolling Thunder coming through.
There's no
Infest
worse
Bomb
feeling than
not
getting
available
last
anymore.
in this
Yeah, look
wildcard
at this. Look how
qualifier.
early
That
he
must feel
bought
so
the Aghanim
horrible.
Shard as well. The Lifestealer, open
He's gonna
wounds,
sting extra
already
much
picked
if
up
I
here.
tweet
He
and
wants to
flame
be
them.
able to go man mode against these heroes like the Razor, for example, and still actually do something against a lot of that damage that might be static linked off.
I think this is the second time I've seen Matu do this now. I think when we casted their previous series, might have been back in the group stages where he went for the Ag Shard very early on. So interesting to see kind of the development of Lifesteal's item builders. I guess the meta goes on. Yamich, they might dive him. Yeah, Zai with the backstab. This is a big
Okay.
thing, man. The fact that Virtus Pro were getting no kills on their duo support, like this is... Both Tiny and Sky really rely on getting these kills. You are high burst magic damage heroes, and if you can't blow the supports up, if you can't get towards the blink, it's
Oh, look
really
at-
going to hinder
look at some of
VP's
these
game.
TPs
And
though.
yeah, top lane. Boxy gets the hook shot, Mickey with the follow-up as well. Virtus Pro do have multiple
Okay.
members nearby as GPK
GPK should
just
die for this, though.
assassinates the backline, and DM,
We
he's
need
okay.
more help here, Lux.
Protected with the Wraith Pact, the
take
damage
no
mitigation
damage.
is proving to be an issue for Liquid. Can they finally deal with it? Looks
Here's
like that's
Vino.
going to be the case, but the Mystic Flare not enabling Virtus Pro to
Oh my
turn it
God,
around,
he's
they
so
need to cut
tanky.
their losses as GPK is going to dive out of the area. DM will not have the same capability, however, so in the end, a 2-for-2, Virtus Pro do at least get 2 supports, but it still comes at a cost.
Yeah, I think that's actually a pretty big win for Liquid as well. Not just necessarily because of that core and support trade, but Yamich, he thought that fight was going
early?
to go
No,
on a
you
little bit
can't do
longer,
that.
so he commits his TP onto the Tier 1 top. There was, I believe, 2 waves hitting into the Tier 2 bottom at the time, and if he went down there instead, he would have been able to spend that time farming up the remaining parts of his Blink Dagger. He might still be able to with this, but you mentioned before that they've got this kill support duo with Yamich as well as Hakoda. That Blink Dagger is a big part of that.
I think as the game goes on, it's going to really prove to be an issue with this Wraith Pack. We just see how tanky DM is in through that little skirmish there. And I mean, he's even got the hood working
Look at
the
Raze,
pipe
they're
next
not
item
worth-
as well. So Liquid may have some difficulties with being able to blow up the Visage. And I think this is probably the big timing key now for BP. They've got double BKB, really the first item now completed on Ramses.
They do indeed. You still got to wait for Yamich, though. You're not ready. You might have to give up this tower, and they're saying, well, they're not defending
And
this
the
tier
Roche,
one.
nice.
Certainly have the capabilities to. There has to be a reason. They're not quite ready
Much
to
love
fight.
and
Let's just go straight
appreciation.
on to Roche. And
Last
I
resort
actually quite like this
goodbye.
play.
Thank you. Your generosity.
Ooh. I'm not sure if they have confirmation prior, but they now know that Ramses has BKB with that rocket flare. And they also know exactly where VP are
Starix
at the
alt
moment.
account,
Even though they
Sassy?
scan, there will be no contest. So a free first Roche going the way of Liquid. 5,000 net worth lead. Are we going to continue to see them play active across the map? They've got 16 kills, but can they get objectives with this Aegis?
I think it's important for them to play active, but they got to play active onto the right heroes, right? You mentioned before that BKB on Ramses makes him a lot more tanky for a
Why
lot of his
are,
engagements happening, particularly coming through
Middle
from,
Eastern countries getting
Zai
so
as well as
weepified?
BK.
Like, what's going
So
on
if
with
he's
the
able to
Niels?
back away from that
Why are
and
they being
cause
so
them to go
weebs?
on perhaps the Primal Beast instead,
What's going on with
then that's
that?
really going to enable some of that damage to come out from VP.
So we already see the observed ward from Liquid being able to scout out Hakoda. Trying to leave down the bottom side of the map. They might have seen him also place the ward as well if they were checking the inventory. We'll see
Razer
if
going
Liquid look to
Midas.
deward that
Razer
afterwards,
actually
but
going Midas.
that
It
kill
doesn't
should
work
give
again.
them firm control of this bottom side of the map. So the T2 tower will soon be under siege, and even mid is getting shoved out as well. So Liquid have a lot of room to make plays now.
Yeah, while Liquid weren't showing on the map, you know, VP were doing the best that they could to try and get the most that they could out of the map with their farm, but they didn't lose any towers. You know, even the tier 1 mid still standing. Tier 1 on the bottom side of the map, and Matu, he's closing
what
on
are you
his
gonna do now?
Desolator. So that was probably an area of weakness for them. This TP.
Again? Virtus probably going to try and
Nice.
smoke
Why-
to get up here.
why
but
Cog?
I don't
Like,
think
why?
DM's going to be healthy enough
He's
to
committing for the
survive this
tower.
long.
Oh, hell no, deny it as well.
So Virtus Pro, they need to get something out of this smoke. They will see Insania and Zai shortly.
It's a classic.
He's also not easy to blow up. He's got the Wraith Pact if he can chuck it. Oh, the toss, no, out of the
no,
Mystic
can he
Flare.
get ult?
But the use of the Ancient Seal,
Ult?
Static Storm is going to be able
Oh,
to
he gets
cover
ult
the
off.
retreat.
Turn and kill him
Ranges will
now.
wrap around. They'll be able to kill off the Venomancer. The Virtus Pro, they need to get
Razor,
out. Use
Razor
the Poison
glimpse,
Over.
glimpse.
Will not enable them
Oh,
to
they
stick
caught him.
around.
Oh,
He's
no.
actually been able to catch out Ramses. A BKB won't protect him as the Cog's not enabling him to run up
no,
the high
no,
ground, so he's
no.
gonna
They
have
got
to go to
glimpse
the
as well
left
if they need.
instead.
Glimpse is here.
But a
Look
completely
what it does with his
wasted
hand.
BKB,
He's
and he'll
shaking.
still end up losing his life.
That's the great thing about the open wounds, right? I was mentioning before how it's good to allow you to just stand and man fight against these Razor, Primal Beast, even the Tiny eventually with his great stat gain, but just the slow component. It means that you need to be so much more conscientious of when you're looking to pop that BKB. Oh, and the massive Pidus on Ramses as well. He's going to be kicking himself there.
Just some slight errors that we usually don't see from this Virtus Pro team.
7k
That
lead.
last fight in particular, the toss out of the Mystic Flare.
He knows. He got Midas at
The
least.
support duo in particular, Hakoda and Yarmich have always been good. The synergy between them, but something needs to click shortly. This game's starting to get out of hand, and maybe this could be the smoke.
And that was their big timing, right? They wanted to have that Blink Dagger with the Mystic Flare combination together as well from the Tiny, and they just didn't accomplish it. Yarmich moving forward under the cover of smoke.
Is in. They've got the Infest. They've
Infest,
got a lot of bonus
1 for
health,
1, but here
Tumblr's
comes
gonna
reinforcement.
pop out.
They have glimpse
A
for more
1 for 1 to
chase.
start, but they're in trouble now, Virtus Pro. The Delta split comes
little early.
through, but DM's going to be glimpsed back into the middle. Matumba Man
Little bit
won't have
early
a
there,
stun
wasn't
to be
it?
able to cancel the Visage TP, so DM will be able to escape.
Free gold from Wraith
Meanwhile,
Pact.
back up to the left side, Mickey, a solo use of the Rolling Thunder has been able to isolate Yarmich on the Tiny.
Oh, no, no.
So Liquid in the
Oh,
end
no,
will be
no,
able to
no, no.
find
The
two,
bash,
but
the
they've also
bash.
caught out GPK.
He's
They've got
dead.
BKB to work with if required. They're going to drag
Where
it
is he?
back into the Static Storm.
He doesn't have-
There's
he
not much
wasted Q.
GPK can do
What
to
the hell
play
did he
this one
Q?
aggressively. He's going
He
to
doesn't
try
have
and
a TP.
trample away.
Reaction?
the bashes
Let's see his
are there,
reaction.
Making sure
No
there will be
reaction.
no opportunity as Matumba Man can close
Nick
the
is stomping.
distance
Well
to
played
get
his
the
own
right
team.
clicks
He's
going.
tilting. GPK is
It's just those
tilting.
little bit of things of coordination, right? He pops the BKB
He's well
and
playing
runs
his own
away
team.
from Ramses that had commit forward with the static link. He wanted to be able to help out his teammate, but you can't do that if you're just going to instantly cause the link to break. Look at that range on the open words. It's kind of nutty.
For VP, I think it needs to be a toss into Ancient Seal if they're really going to start the fight.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're somewhat rattled. Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Free Aegis
Ages
claim.
for it.
Dire
It was running out
all
anyway.
Here at the moment. Foxy's still going to look to hook shot under
Oh,
the
nice
T2 tower.
force.
They've been able to kite
Perfect.
the Mystic Flare as well, which is a lot of the initial
on,
damage
come
from
on.
Virtus
Oh.
Pro. The Infest is going to be enough to secure the kill,
Nice,
and also doesn't put
nice.
Matumba
What the hell
Man
is
in a
Vino
compromised
doing? What the
position.
fuck are you doing
Meanwhile,
there?
though, Zai is under the ward and the creeps as well. Instant use of the Wraith Pact.
He's getting
He's
help.
been able to break the static link, and now with the Rolling Thunder.
Look at Razor, he has the
actually
back now.
used
He
from
has the
Decade,
back.
charge it up.
Is he gonna
Threat
die?
Pro.
Yeah, he wants to. He wants to create space to the left-hand side of this tier 2 tower. So that's
He's
gonna
almost
go
gonna. He's
down.
gonna die. Are you
They got
serious?
Swashbuckle back up. Is Mickey gonna go for it? Oh, so close. I think some of the last little ticks weren't there with a swashbuckle.
Agonizingly close, man. This is looking real good for Liquid so far. I mean, the amount of times that they made that attempt up top with the tier 2 tower, it felt like DM was up there 5 separate times just trying to take that, and Liquid just had their minds on the amount of time that it would take for them to achieve an objective, get a gank, and go back and prevent VP from opening up the map. Even with that tier 2 tower taken, they haven't left their side of the map, so they haven't actually achieved anything. They haven't gotten the rewards for that tower that they committed so much for.
Very tense. Very tense. Still winnable for a
It's gonna
VP.
be
If you're a
really
VP
scary
fan,
here
don't
for
worry.
Virtus Pro.
You
Look
can
at
still
the
win
ward they've got
Copium.
at the triangle as well. Maybe this could help out though. Scepter now completed from GPK. Do we feel like there's
Yeah, they can push.
another item that VP needs
Vino is
to
so
maybe
strong right
turn
now.
the
No ult
tides?
though.
Well, I mean, four staffs are pretty at a premium
Yeah,
for
don't- you
the
don't wanna throw
supports as
before
well.
Roche.
But just with how the game's
Still
been
2
going, without
minutes.
being able to secure a lot of those kills early on, it means that it's still going to be quite some time until well, Yamich, he's a fair way away, but Hakoda's nearly picked his one up, so maybe if they could go for a smoke, get a pick off before the 4 stars are needed, and then when Liquid try and go for the counter gank, that's when it can really start to have its impact.
They're hunting him. They sniff him out. They know he's
Boxy
here.
might be right. Okay. So he might be right on the money if he kept going towards the lane. Almost was able to cut off.
They go here instead. Insta kills him. He's got DD.
Oh,
Oh my lord.
It's the swipe boy.
Oh, okay.
And GPK,
You need max
he's
scope
the next on
if
the
you're VP
agenda
fan.
as well. It might have to be another defensive BKB to get him out. It's like at least the Scepter be the deterrent here from Liquid. They're going to
Scepter's
back
pretty good
up,
against
but the
Lifestealer.
prize will be the T2 tower.
12 glimpse?
You just
Any
catch
glimpse?
bite into that DD.
Glimpse? They already use it?
Yeah, they see him slowly walk on past. They know that the Primal Beast isn't quite there, so they could go
the
for an
BKB,
aggressive game.
which is
Attempt
very
to
sad
then
for him.
Freedom to back off. Yep, BKB is the objective that they wanted to get out of that, and now they can look to make another move in a
And
few
they're playing
seconds.
in a winning
Just
team, which means Disruptor
seconds
probably
left
will
on
get
that
Axe
shot cooldown. They're
if
just
it
gonna
for
check
some
for
reason
power
goes on
mode. It's
for
an
another
arcane
10-20
move.
minutes.
Mickey, he has been on point with
Sealing
being able
the
to
deal.
secure these with his team. Might even be able to have the luxury of securing tier 3 items, go back with that little bit of an advantage because VP are holed up in their base. They're not going to be able to get that extra little bit of a power spike.
Got
Clockwork has been a support that has been rising in popularity over the last chance qualifiers. We see it as a big hero for Virtus Pro in particular, and well, this game, Boxy is looking to show that he is incredibly strong, the hero as well. We've already seen him play it today, and these hook shots have been on point, and we might see it once again as GPK. A kinetic field?
Oh,
yeah, you
no.
are. Yeah, you can't charge out of that one, which would be unfortunate. So
They got bash? Oh, I can look at the tilt. Look at the camera. Any tilt? Come on.
Ready for the attempt. The high fives.
We got. Come on, react.
Back as Mickey is godlike.
He's just thinking
Indeed,
it.
and he's even got the basher
He
as
is
well, so
thinking
even
it.
if Boxy wasn't there, they would have had the potential to be able to take out that key target again.
Yeah, he knows they lost.
These movements coming through from Liquid. This is TI caliber. This is what, you know, a lot of people in the past have criticized them for, crumbling under the weight of expectation, but they're really coming through for not only themselves, but their region as well. Secret already having qualified, and could we be seeing 2 Western European teams coming through the last chance qualifiers?
I mean, both Insania, Boxy, and Mickey, they missed out on TI-10. They do not want to miss out on another TI, and with how Game 1 is looking at the
I'm sure
moment,
you can click Disruptor and see what he's buying, but he should be
sure
getting
that is
it.
not going to be the case.
Ags.
Insania,
Maybe a force.
chilling. And all these
Oh,
4
wow.
stars,
Okay.
man, the supports are
The
so
force.
farmed.
Yeah, and look at this as well. Like, this seems like a bit of a...
You just
I don't
wait for
wanna call
Roche.
it
It's a
all
very
in
long
play just
Roche,
yet.
very unlucky.
Normally, you
It
buy
shouldn't
the
matter.
gem when you've got control over the map, maybe when you've got the Aegis as well, but Hakoda, he's gone back and said, look, I know I had enough gold for my 4 stuff. We need to be able to play around the map. I need to make sure that we get some vision back, because right now, we've got nothing.
Is the advantage that Liquid have. You're playing with Rocket Flare, you're playing with goddamn Plague Wards. Just nothing they can do.
Shoving up pretty easily with Swashbuckle as well.
Yeah, and that's a beautiful call. Like, lanes are a very important way to gain vision. You see DMs trying to do that. Bottom with the familiars, Boxy and Marty are going to surround them. So, and just to read, yeah, you're trying to get these lanes in a position where maybe you can set up for a pickoff, but Virtus Pro, the 5-man smoke, they'll get nothing out of it. So maybe they can at least, and they will. They're going to drop a
another
reserve
good
ward by the
Scarif game.
Roche. It will be up in 45 seconds. Let's see if they can take a fight around this area, but Dire are going to see them shortly.
He's got pipe as well. He nullifies so much of the damage.
They might have even got the
It's
sense
a little bit
that,
weird, but
DM
Primal
had
Beast is
resummoned
primarily
his familiars
magic.
too,
Even
so
when he slams
even
him
if
in the
he does have
ground,
the
walks
buyback,
on them,
which he does,
it's
it'll
magic
be the
damage.
key target for them to look to try and go on if they can take
Boxy's
away
on
that
behind.
pipe.
Boxy's on the hind.
Pipe is coming.
Initiation
Jump for
over the Static Storm follow up as well. Matumban's going to turn to deal with the
The
Tiny.
suck.
They have
Not that
someone
big
a
suck.
decent amount of
Only
damage, but
22. What the hell?
Mickey's in the Rolling Thunder.
Roll,
A bounce back
man.
as well. They're going to try and
And
target
keep-
down Ramses, completely taking the Razor out of the team fight.
Oh, he missed.
He's
Mickey
surviving
missed.
for the moment. They're going to turn to deal with DM,
Doesn't
but
matter,
the
doesn't
Visage
matter.
just is unable to stay alive. Liquid are too
BKB
far ahead,
on
and Ramses
life
will
steal is
not be
a
able to
little
find
cringe.
a way through the tree line.
They just
He'll
called
go
it.
back in the lane, and
He just called it. I mean, it's pretty old. Rage crits,
You
Ramses.
mentioned that this is a team, whenever they find their victories, they do it incredibly fast, and they've done it here once again. A 30-minute Game 1 victory in our last series of the Last Chance qualifiers.
Very, very crisp, very clean. Matu, that's the face of
Nice. We
someone
do
that
want
just
Liquid
lost
to
a
win,
game, not
'cause,
just one.
they're definitely a pretty fun team to watch.
Face palm, but no,
From
they're
NTA.
looking really good, and it's all on the back of that, man. Mickey had a phenomenal game. Came out of the laning stage with a net worth lead against GPK.
And I'm not going to early
11,
tweet,
and
are you
11.
pretending?
The man is just out of control.
VP's a
you know
good
what,
team.
for
They can
VP,
win too easily.
I understand wanting to cut the losses, not potentially get tilted and have that lead into the second game, but this is the last series. This isn't a best of 5. This is a best of 3. So I feel like we've seen before, anything can happen once that...
Hayaan yung mata nila ay